Bakugo, ex-little sister, reader. You didn't ask to be Bakugo Katsuki's sibling, and quite honestly, you weren't really sure if it was a curse or a blessing. Some days he was a protective older brother, and other days he was raging explosion in a blank tank top, with the emotional range of a brick. But still, you admitted, and you admired him. And when you got accepted into UA as a general studies student, it was like he finally started treating you like an equal. Sort of. I mean, at least he didn't yell at you anymore for breathing. Today you were excited to shadow Class 1A for the day. A joint training exercise with your class meant you'd be with Katsuki and his peers on the field. You'd met most of them before. Uraka was sweet and Sarah was funny. Midoriya was polite and even Todoroki had made conversation with you once. But Mineta, something about the way he looked at you, it made your skin crawl, and the way his little beady eyes dragged a little bit too long, or the way his laugh changed when he was around you. You tried to ignore it, maybe he was just a little bit awkward, but you'd soon find out it was a lot more than that. The day you had started normal. Normal enough. You'd arrived early, greeted Izawa, and stood by the sidelines as Class 1A warmed up. Katsuki had jogged over to you, wiping the sweat off his brow with the back of his hand. "You better not embarrass me out here, dumbass," he grunted, warning you. He smirked. "Maybe you'll embarrass me." He clicked his tongue, but didn't argue. That way of his saying, "Good job." The warm-up ended, and the class split into groups for drills. You ended up paired with Mina, Sarah, and Mineta. Of course, Mina gave you a thumbs up, and Sarah smiled, but Mineta, he leered in a way. "Well," he said, eyes scanning you as if you were lunch. "Didn't know Bakugou had such a cute sibling. Why haven't I seen you around more?" You shifted uncomfortably, but answered after a few seconds. "Oh, I'm in general studies." Mineta stepped closer. "Well, that's a crime. Someone like you belongs in the spotlight, or in my dorm room." You froze. Surely he didn't just say that out loud, right? Maybe you just heard him wrong. He is quite the wild down there. Maybe the height difference made him sound different. Sarah's smile faltered, and Mina rolled her eyes. "Dude, don't," he warned, but Mineta wasn't done. "Want to see my room sometime, Ryan? I've got a private collection of Oi." He was cut off. The voice cut through the training grounds like a knife, low, rough, and deadly. "Katsuki." You turned your head slowly, and he stood a few feet away, fists clenched, a twitch of his jaw. You hadn't even noticed him. But of course he had been watching. His red eyes were locked on Mineta like a scope at a target. "What the hell did you just say?" Mineta paled. "Oh, crap," Sarah muttered under his breath. I was kidding." Mineta stumbled, stepping back. "That's just a harmless joke, bro. You know how I am." Bakugo didn't move. "Say it again." "What?" Mineta squeaked out. "I fucking dare you. Repeat it." Mina shot you a glare, worried. You didn't even know what to say. You didn't know what this was. You didn't want this. You didn't want to be the reason Bakugo exploded, but you also didn't want to pretend Mineta hadn't crossed a line. Katsuki took a step forward, explosions crackling at his palms, looking deathly at Mineta. "You think that shit's funny?" he snarled, saying disgusting shit to them, looking at them like that. Mineta raised his hands defensively. "I didn't touch them." Yeah, that was the wrong answer. Bakugo lunged. "Katsuki!" Aizawa's voice boomed across the field. He stopped mid-step, shoulders heaving with pure rage, and then he glared at his teacher like a furious dog yanked off the leash. Aizawa walked over, but clearly annoyed. "I saw enough." Mineta, go sit down the rest of the training. Now. "But I didn't." "Now." Mineta scurried off, eyes darting nervously back at Bakugo like he expected to get blown to bits anyway. Bakugo, Aizawa said, eyes narrowing. Control yourself. You don't get to attack your classmates, no matter the reason. Katsuki didn't argue, just ground his teeth together and spat a curse under his breath. Aizawa turned away, clearly satisfied. Things were handled now. You stood there in stunned silence. Everyone else had gone back to their groups, giving you and your brother space. Finally, he marched over to you. Hey, he said slowly. You okay? You nodded. It was small. Yeah, I didn't think he'd actually say that kind of stuff out loud. Bakugo growled, eyes still smoldering. He's lucky. If Aizawa showed up when he did. I could have handled it, you defended. No, dumbass, that's not your job, that's mine. You shouldn't have to. You blinked, a little surprised. He was still scowling, still Bakugo, but with a hint of something different. I don't care how old you are, he said, his eyes meeting yours. No one talks to you like that when I'm around. Your smile faintly crept up. You gonna blow every creep away I meet? He scoffed. Damn right I am. He laughed, pumping his shoulder. Thanks, Katsuki. He shoved her head gently. Don't get sappy on me. Too late, he chuckled. The two of you walked off now, lighter than ever. You weren't sure what kind of punishment Mineta would get, but one thing was for sure. He definitely wouldn't look at you again. At least not with your big brother around to protect you.